So under the crisis services section, the first question is about whether or not survivors are offered 24-hour crisis services, 24 hours a day, every day of the school year. And so first, the policy should say this information, but if it doesn't, then I would look at either the school's counseling and psychological services website or a campus police website for this information. So I would use the University of Colorado at Boulder for an example, and their counseling and psychological services website looks like this. They give the normal business hours for when it's open, and also they answer the question of whether or not you need to talk to somebody after hours. They give you the number for that. So going back to the student submit form right here, I would check yes, the University of Colorado does provide 24 hours a day crisis services. The second question is about emergency contraception, antibiotics, and post-exposure HIV prophylaxis. And many schools that do have a health center or a medical school attached to their university do provide antibiotics and emergency contraception, but some schools don't provide emergency contraception, which could be an option for later activism. In order to find this information, it should also be in the policy itself, but if it's not, I would usually look at the health services website or the health center website itself. So I would use University of Colorado as another example. And their health center website looks like this. I would go to services, clinics and services, go over to women's health, and here they have lists of all of the services that they provide. It does show that they have infection testing and treatment, which means that antibiotics are available. It also says that there's emergency contraception. Here it doesn't say whether or not post-exposure HIV prophylaxis is offered. This is a series of drugs that survivors can choose to take after an assault that could reduce the risk of contracting HIV. So it also doesn't say here whether or not there's a fee. So I would go back to the student submit form and I would click emergency contraception available but charge unknown, antibiotics available but charge unknown, and also unknown down here because we don't know whether or not post-exposure HIV prophylaxis is available.